Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so I felt this, I don't know how to explain it, probably intense, sort of, how do I want to say? It's almost anxious sort of feeling. Anyway, we're going to get into this here. We're going to see what message Spirit has for you right now. What do they need you to know? I'm going to pull out a few charms. So if you have your volume up, please turn it down. Okay. Oh, charm fell on my lap. The letter T fell on my lap. Okay. So we have the word star. We have a rose with a star behind it. Again, I think they're leaves, but to me it looks like there's a star behind it. So, okay. We have a bird. And this one actually is a bird. There's another charm in here that's similar that came out once, and it looked, well, I think more than once, but it looked like a flying fish. So, but that's an actual bird. We also have a wing. We have the Sun card. We have the word time. Star time. Interesting. We have a fire extinguisher. So putting the fire out. Needing to put a fire out. We have 2017. So that year could be significant. We have a butterfly. We have a tree with hearts on it. We have the letter K. So we have TK or KT. Katie could be somebody's name. Or they could be initials. We have the letter G. So TKG. And then we have the number 2. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to start with the Cosmic deck. We have New Chapter at the base. And Balance with the number 2 on the split. let's get an overall energy. What message does Spirit need for you to hear right now? Anything that could help you. Overall energy. Okay. Clearly that wants to come out. Transformation number 33. New chapter still at the bottom of the deck. Anything else? I was going to say, I felt like there was one more in there. Hope, number 16. So transformation and hope. Free spirit at the bottom. Sacred journey under that. Okay. All right, transformation says, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to bloom. Transformation occurs in nature's cycles all around us, birth, death, and rebirth. These cycles are not feared when we are able to observe the transformation and beauty in change. If you have drawn this card, you are also going through a beautiful transformation of self. This process can be challenging and difficult at times. Not knowing what is ahead of us can seem daunting, and you may feel you are unraveling. Dearest one, have no fear or concern. You are embarking on a remarkable journey that will invoke and touch your soul. This is a time when patterns, habits, and old belief systems are challenged and transcended. The butterfly is slowly emerging from its cocoon, which it once found stable, safe, warm, and secure. Which we got the butterfly charm over here. If for many years you have been playing it safe in all areas and facets of your life, but now you find that things are happening around you that challenge your way of being. You wished for more, did you not? You hungered for greater understanding, greater clarity, and greater and stronger connection to the mystery of the divine. The caterpillar has had its day. It has experienced all it needs to experience, and now the time has come for the butterfly to emerge. The beauty you bring into this world with your unique colors and flight, interesting with the bird there in the wing, will be so very inspiring. With your radiant beauty and courage, you will raise the vibration of this earth to greater octaves of love and light. Affirmation: I am courageous as I embrace this transformation with love. And then number 16, hope. Let's see. Hope says, behind the passing dark clouds, the sun still shines bright. Feeling overwhelmed, disconnected, afraid, and defeated are a few of the symptoms you can experience when passing through an emotional storm. All is not as it seems. The passing storm will uncover suppressed emotional energy that is in need of clearing and balancing. As challenging as it may seem, see the passing gray clouds as an opportunity to grow, learn, heal, and transform limiting behavioral patterns and beliefs. It is not about staying positive through the storm. It's about understanding and truly seeing the imbalances and wounds within you that attract this energy into your space. Clouds do pass and will continue to pass until you learn to truly see the underlying message and lesson. Only then will you transcend the fear and irritability of these challenging cycles. Once you are able to understand your magnetic connection to the challenges that surround you and heal those imbalances with love, storms will cease to affect you as they once did. For now, there is stillness and hope in knowing that the sun still shines bright behind the passing dark clouds. It is then, through this renewed clarity, inner knowing, and strength, that you will be able to manifest a life of choice. For no more will you see the passing storms as a destructive force to be reckoned with, but rather an opportunity to evolve to higher states of conscious understanding. It is through this act alone that you are reborn to a world of wondrous manifestations and fulfilled dreams. The prayer says, Holy Spirit, please guide me to see this situation with deeper clarity, love, and understanding. That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. Spirit, can you elaborate on this message, please? What else would you like to say, Spirit? Ooh, that was quick. Anything else? Polar bear? And the scorpion. Anything else you'd like to say? Thank you. Can I get one more? One more, Spirit. Thank you. All right. Ooh, we have the whale. What is that? The 10 of Cups? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that is the 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles. I'm not entirely sure what this one is. I'll have to look in the book for this one. I believe this one is like the Magician. And then we also have the 2 of Pentacles, which there's the balance, right? And then we have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So, some kind of a collaboration with the 3 of Pentacles. Let's see. I'm so curious since the polar bear was at the bottom of the deck. I just want to take a look at that quickly. Tenderness. Now is the time to release my pain and hold myself with tenderness. Okay. I read that for a reason, so somebody needed to hear that, I'm sure. There's the 10 of Cups. We need the 3. All right, so the 3 of Pentacles says community. creativity and community lift you up to realize your potential within the life design of the universe. All your material efforts facilitate a deeper understanding of the connectedness of all living beings. Elevated by lasting feelings of satisfaction for your earthly collaborations, you awaken to the luminosity of your soul work. You begin to recognize that all work is holy. Your work is your love made manifest. Through your community of friends, family, and co-workers, you find support and the kind of appreciation that enlivens your sense of purpose. Remember to take good care of yourself and others. Rejoice in your relationships and in all that you can do when people come together in common purpose and in service to the greater good. In community, I recognize that all work is holy. Balance. Interesting that we actually got the balance card and we got the Two of Pentacles, which talks about balance as well. And we had the number 2 come out, and the birds are also represented here as well as the flower. So I feel like that's also significant. Okay. It says integration, excuse me. The alchemy of balance. When you stand in your truth, you are more ready to expand through self-expression. You find your focus despite the winds ringing through the branches. The transformative message of balance comes only after reflection and release. In balance, you find the courage to center within the polarities of yourself, the internal and the external, the yin energy of receptivity and the yang energy of expansion. Here, you begin to have confidence in the unseen force of universal consciousness, the divine imagination that restores you back to the source of all life, to the bright expanse of energy that birthed all of our beginnings. It is a luminous unifying force that connects all beings, and it is always here to support you. When you recognize that you are never alone, you find the strength to embrace your shadows and your light, so that they can coexist through discernment and acceptance. Now is the time for integration. Now is the time for hope. And we got the hope card. After the experience of release, the magic that is you is free to shine. Let it radiate from the flower of your heart so you can sing the song of your soul. I integrate the internal and the external so that I can sing the song of my soul. Holy crap. That's really beautiful. My goodness. Y'all, I needed this message today. Okay. Yeah, this is the Magician. Magical manifestation. Click your heels 3 times. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Ruled by Mercury, the Magician brings you a message from Spirit that says you are perfect just as you are. You have made your way through the spiral flame of your own weaving and have everything you need for this human experience to be full of wonder. The Magician is spirit manifested and represents your spirit in embodied form. The Magician reveals that you have the power to alchemize the stability of earth energy with the healing compassion of water, the creative spark of fire, and the expansive intelligence of air, so that you can create a life of purpose and meaning. Remember that you come from the realm of ether, but you were born with the gifts of earth, water, fire, and air. Rejoice in the courageous ways you have utilized them in service to your own growth and in service to others. Know that the journey is just beginning. Imagine what comes next. I have everything I need to manifest a world full of wonder. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. Here's the 2. if it'll focus. There we go. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is. Interesting looking bird though. Okay. Egret. I think it's an egret bird, according to the book. All right. It says, steady on the branch, you trust in the lightness of your own being, balancing the internal and the external, the lightning, bright hope, and the fear that lives in the dark corners. You cultivate resilience and stability. Here, you begin to understand that you are in co-creation with all the parts of yourself. Body, mind, and spirit work together, ready to evolve as you adapt to whatever the world presents. Make time for play so that you can attune your efforts around your work and stay connected to your joyful essence. Know that what appears to be separate, self and other, are transformed through your growing awareness that all are one. I make time for play so that I can attune my efforts around my work and stay connected to my joyful essence. And then I'm also going to go ahead and read the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups says, blessing. You are a blessing from spirit, exquisitely articulated like water sparkling on the ocean's surface. You are the wisdom keeper who hears in your bones the sacred song that connects all beings. It is the song of the soul, and it emanates from love. Exalt in the possibility of new beginnings. Honor the currents of your past, the toil of your emotions, and the triumphs of your heart that have brought you to this moment. Experience the deep sense of tranquility that comes from feelings of contentment and fulfillment. Your selflessness, quiet courage, and compassion lift you up like a prayer, an inspiration, a reminder to give thanks for the beauty in this world. I am a blessing from spirit, here to give thanks for the beauty in this world. That's good. That's so good. All right. Let's get a message from the ancestors quick. No, actually, I think we'll do that last. Let's get a message from this deck. The bottom of the deck says, healing takes time. I am learning to place more importance on my actions and the direction of my thoughts rather than focusing on the speed at which things get better. Feel like that's another part of that balance there too. Okay. What message do we need from this deck? Today, my actions will mirror the reflection of the future I dream of. I am stronger than the urge to reconnect with people who have proven to be toxic to my growth and happiness. Is there one more in here? I heard no. Okay. I give myself permission to detach from people who do not consider my feelings. I allow myself to heal by any means necessary. Burnt offerings and halfway to whole on the split. This is the Alchemy of Awareness deck. Just in case you're wondering. What do I need to know from this deck, Spirit? Rewiring Destiny. Let me get all of them out and then I'll read. Yeah, there it is. This one too? Okay. Restworthy. The bottom. All right, what do we got here? Rewiring Destiny. I've been this way my whole life, an idea you've repeated so often it feels absolute. But these expectations can quietly reinforce behaviors and shape outcomes. Consider the beliefs you carry, possibly forged in difficult times, that you still treat as truth. Choose consciously and courageously to rewrite your narrative and change the course of your life. Inconvenient integrity. You carry a quiet but unwavering sense of what is right, even when no one's watching, even when it costs you comfort or connection. You hold your ground. Others may not see the battles you've fought or the temptations you've turned down. The path you chose is one of integrity. Your values are your bones, and in a world that usually bends, it is an exceptional kind of strength. And that's really funny because underneath Free Spirit and Sacred Journey, we have integrity. Tap in. Intuition doesn't vanish. It waits. Even when silenced, buried, or dismissed, instinct lingers beneath the noise. It's not broken, just bruised from being ignored. A voice that's grown quiet after years of being second-guessed. Rebuild the bridge with small acts of trust. Shift the question from, what if I'm wrong, to what if I'm right? Your inner knowing is still there, waiting for you to notice. And last one is graceful flow. You adapt, you bend where others break. You're not defined by control, but by response. Your ability to pivot, to read the room, to adjust course mid-flight is not a lack of stability. It's a mark of evolution. You meet change without panic and find solutions when the map goes missing. You've become fluent in change because you know life is about flowing, not resisting. So good. All right, let's get, are we reading Restworthy? Spirit drew my attention over here, so, okay. Running on empty isn't endurance, it's self-destruction. Consider rest as a requirement, not a reward. When you push past your limits and ignore the warning signs, your body makes the choice for you. So take a break and contemplate what you're working so diligently towards. Remember, the better you care for yourself, the farther you will be able to go. Conscious connections at the base. caring for yourself, like self-care looks different for everyone. Okay? So it doesn't have to be the same thing for everybody. If you're starting out learning how to care for yourself, you might have to try a few different ways first before you figure out what ways work better for you. And there's no right or wrong way. Everyone is different. Some ways that work for others don't work for others. And that's okay. Everyone has their own things that are considered self-care to them. You know what I mean? What do we need from this deck, ancestors? Let's see. What do the ancestors want to say? Ooh. Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Restore and replenish at the base. We got number 27, receiving. And number 11, divining for light. Really being drawn to the seahorses here on the divining for light. Okay. All right, let's see. Number 27. All right, receiving. You are so loved. Your every need is witnessed and responded to by the universe. However, you sometimes forget this. You become swept up in the momentum of habitual consciousness, and you forget to take a moment to stop, breathe, and be. In that moment, you can receive the love of the universe that is receiving you. It will nourish you with contentment and energy. You have not done this enough. So your soul is becoming parched and is drying out. Energy has been going out of you, but there's not enough coming back in. It is time to bring something back in for you. To receive and be received. You are being offered a chance for restoration now, to feel nourished, cared for, and loved. Accept it. You deserve it. The healing process below will help you surrender any guilt or shame you feel for having needs in the first place. Excuse me. It will also help you overcome any struggle that you have receiving and accepting so that your needs can be met. Do you know how much joy the universe gains from being able to give to you? When you delight in what you receive, when you openly embrace a gift and are so happy with it, the universe is fully received by you. In this space, there is joyful communication between you and life. Energy flows more freely and magic happens. When you demur, saying you cannot accept that it is too great a gift or that you are not worthy, you are impeding that flow. You are inhibiting the communication, the connection, the playful interaction between you and the universe. Enough with the false modesty and guilt. You are a radiant sun in human clothing. Which you got the sun card. An exquisite life experience is your birthright. Enjoy it. Soak it up, all of it, including the restoration of sacred rest. From that place of nourishment, you will more effortlessly create, live, and love with greater energy and thriving, pulsing passion. The earth rests each night so it can greet the sun again each morning with a spectacular living art of sunrise. Allow yourself to switch off, step away, close the laptop, switch off the phone, and just be with yourself for a little while. You will return and be more efficient and effective. Rest now, play now, and work later. Forget your worries for a while. Switch off, do something else, let it all go, and it will all flow. The healing process says, I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and all false beliefs about rest being wasteful or unnecessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and the gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity balance, feed, and nourish each other. There is sacred healing that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and receive this now. Through unconditional love, this is now so. Then read this story aloud, as though you were lovingly reading it to yourself as a child. You may want to curl up comfortably on the sofa. A great French Impressionist painter, Monet, sat in his garden on a warm afternoon. He was napping lightly on his garden bench, with the sunlight dappling gently through the straw hat resting over his face. It was soft and warm on his closed eyelids. He sighs contentedly. A nosy neighbor poked his head over the fence, keen to know what the brilliant artist was up to now. Sir, you are resting, the curious neighbor called out. No, responded Monet, wriggling to get even more comfortable on his reclining garden chair. I am working. He relaxed further as the mild breeze tickled the hair on his forearms. Monet returned to his garden the next day, consumed by the urge to translate his feelings onto the canvas. He painted with great energy and focus. He was inspired and the paint flowed. Again, the nosy neighbor poked his head over the fence. He called out, Sir, you are working. No, said the artist, barely pausing with his brush. I am resting. When you are done, give yourself a hug and perhaps have a nap or a cup of tea, or do a little dance around your living room, or paint, relax, go for a walk in the park, or do a spot of window shopping. Just be, play, laugh, and relax. Give yourself what you feel you need at this time. If you aren't certain, that's fine. Guess. And know that the more often you do this, the more skilled you will become in identifying and meeting your needs. Yeah, that's literally what I just said. This is talking about basically what I said about resting and self-care and how it looks different for everyone. So that's perfect. Okay. And then number 11, divining for light. All right. How brave you are. You are divining for light. It can be so much simpler to seek light in the heavenly, in that which is blissful, sweet, loving, and kind. To look for the light in that which is dark is an advanced task that only a rebellious and brave heart will attempt. You may not feel that you have taken such a journey by choice, yet you have taken this wise challenge on from deep within your soul. Your innermost being has evoked this situation in your life with the intention that you grow in power, wisdom, and creative juice. It also wants you to experience a bold and fearless trust in life and become further empowered to live it with zest and courage. The Oracle of Divining for Light speaks of a time when you are called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. That darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, or anxiety. There may or may not be an obvious cause. The darkness might be generally accepted and socially acknowledged because there is a socially acceptable or obvious reason for it, such as a death, divorce, or entrenchment. re-entrenchment. However, there may be no obvious justification for your experience of darkness. You might not need a quote-unquote reason to be able to accept it. Likewise, you may struggle to find an unconditional acceptance of your experience. Just know that you are actually on track and right where you need to be. Our creative process and our spiritual path go through a similar turning of the wheel. There is spring and summer in the seasons of our soul, as well as in the earthly ones. There is the autumn harvest, and there is the death inherent in winter. When energy is concentrated and pulled within to seek out the darkness where it can rest, regenerate, and simply be until the time is right for new life, energy, and creative inspiration to burst forth. When divining for light, one must be willing to bear the darkness and understand it has a purpose, much like winter does upon the earth. It is not in error or through lack of consciousness that you are here now. It is testament to your spiritual growth and creative process, not a sign that they are lacking or stalling. The healing process below will help you with your inward plunging and to successfully navigate it. This oracle brings particular guidance that although you are powerful, you are also vulnerable at this time. You need to be alert to sabotage and criticism that may make your progress more difficult than it already is. That would be rather unnecessary. At least some of the people around you might be more attached to their fear and doubt than to their faith in your process and the ways of the creative, rebellious, spiritual path that asks us to trust unconditionally. They may be frightened due to a lack of understanding. You don't need to carry their fear for them. You have your own process to attend to, and they can choose to be inspired by your journey or frightened by it. They are free to respond as they wish, and whatever those responses are, they are part of their journey for them to work through. You also need to be vigilant against the darker forces within yourself. There are the voices that you may not expect, particularly if you are a pure-hearted being who typically resonates with love. These voices or feelings might surprise you with their dark intensity. They may be feelings of hate, terror, or of wanting only to sleep because anything further is all just too hard. They may contain vicious criticism of yourself or tell you that your inner creative work is pointless, unoriginal, not worth it, or stupid. These dark forces might try to tell you that you are on the wrong path, suggest that you will fail, or ask with great condescension, "Who the hell do you think you are?" You must stay in your heart and not believe these dark forces. Stay in compassion. Fear creates the energy of anger, hate, and destructiveness. These forces are a part of life. We don't have to be frightened of them, nor do we need to deny their existence or try to ignore them in order to find light in the darkness. We just need to hold compassion and be intelligently aware so we can avoid being seduced into the trap of needing to prove ourselves or into the mistaken belief that we need to fight against darkness. It is too easy to get caught up in trying to heal the dark. Darkness just is. Recognize it when it is there and be in your compassionate heart. All you need to do is make a choice. Will you stay in your heart, or will you be seduced by darkness and overcome by hate or sleepiness? Divining for light is a spiritual test and a threshold for all true creative work. We successfully navigate our way through this test and pass the threshold into new creative birth by staying connected to the light of compassion in our own hearts. It is not an easy test, but it is one that you must be ready for. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming to you now. Just remember, it is the light of the heart that sustains. It exists within us, even in the darkest depths of unknown terrain. This oracle also comes with a special message. There is a darkness within or around you that could become problematic if left unchecked. If, for no particular reason, you find yourself feeling angry, irritated, hopeless, or tired more easily than usual, unable to rest, or it is just too much effort to exercise or take care of yourself, then this darkness is having an unnecessary effect on you. It is time to end that now from a place of compassion. The healing process below will empower you for that task. Don't be afraid. You are learning this lesson and the unending power of compassion because you are ready for it. Feel honored by the lesson and stay humbly centered in your powerful, rebellious heart that refuses to be conquered by fear and remains faithful to love. All will be well. I call upon the presence of unconditional love. Be here now without restraint. Fill me and fill this space. Touch all beings with your grace. I feel the presence of unconditional love within me. I acknowledge the presence of unconditional love all around me. I am the presence of unconditional love, and in this love, no fear can remain. May unconditional love guide any fear back to the light of love or back into the earth, as serves the greatest good. My body, mind, heart, and soul are now completely bathed in and protected by unconditional love. Through my own free will, this is so. Repeat morning and night for at least 3 days and continue for as long as you wish and feels good for you. You may feel some reactions to this work. Fear, anger, or irritation may come up. You may feel an overwhelming need to go and do something that doesn't actually seem that important once you start doing it, and could have waited 5 more minutes. You might feel nausea. You might also feel emotional with sadness or grief passing through you. These are all signs that your healing process is working on a darker energy and that the energy is releasing itself from you. Repeat this simple process until you feel clear. Don't be afraid to continue with it as much as is needed, especially if you live or work in a toxic environment with a lot of negativity, arguments, anger, or disturbances, and cannot extricate yourself from that environment for a period of time for various reasons. If you feel you need additional help, seek out a reputable shaman or spiritual healer. Start with internet searches or word of mouth referrals, then trust your instincts about who feels good for you to assist you. There is no need to fear or feel burdened by this work. You are being drawn into this experience so that you are ready to experience more light. To be ready for that, we must be capable of handling equal darkness. Now is the preparation. Soon, the celebration will follow. And it was 4747 when I said, now is the preparation. Okay. I feel like this card, before I even do that, I feel like this card is super relevant right now. I give myself permission to detach from people who do not consider my feelings. I allow myself to heal by any means necessary. Yeah, then the one under that says, I trust myself, the direction I'm heading, and the pace of my movement as I continue this journey of self-love. Okay. Today, caring for my energy is my first priority is on the split. How I feel is okay. I don't need to explain it. Was on the bottom of the deck. Oh, there it is. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. First one out was I breathe in love and exhale fear. Second one out. When my dreams feel scary, it means I'm on the right path. Third one out. When I feel stuck, I get my body moving. The one at the bottom of the deck says, my energy is my greatest currency. Okay. I am always provided for. Let's get you an abundance oracle. There. Oh my goodness, that's quite a lot. Okay. My energy is the currency of the cosmos. I live in a reality of overflowing riches. The universe loves to spoil me with endless riches. My soul has always been abundant. I remember and claim that abundance now. I am the creator of my wealth and the receiver of it. Bottom of the deck. The universe wants me to be wealthy so that I can prosper. So that it can prosper through me. Okay. All right, that's all I got for you guys. If you found this reading helpful or insightful or it resonated, like, comment, share, subscribe. Otherwise, I love you and I'll see you next time.